Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of the Fresh Squeez podcast. I'll be your host for this episode, Jeremy, and I'm here with...
And your host, Justin.
Here with Justin as the co-host. And today, for episode 3, we're getting into the topic about animation.
Yes.
Why you should care about it, why it's underrated, why it's great, and maybe a little bit of history of the animation, and some of our personal opinions and takes on animated entertainment as a whole today.
Yep,
so,
this is something we're really interested in, and I guess you could say have strong opinions about it.
Yeah, we've been wanting to talk about this one for quite a while now.
Yeah, so we made sure we were getting this one out quick.
Yeah.
So we can let everybody know how we think about it.
Yep.
So, yeah, animation as a whole. I at least would say, we both say that as a whole, to the general public, it's a generally underappreciated medium of entertainment.
It really is.
Whether that's, it's in movies, it's in TV shows.
Yep.
That's the main two core things
Mm-hmm.
in the ways of mainstream entertainment. And some people may think, oh, it's for animated, it's for kids, or it's not that serious.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about Dora the Explorer.
And we're not talking about
talking about Paw Patrol.
The next Disney princess movie. We're talking about like real deal, real deal.
It's great, deep, artistic
storytelling,
visual animation, and so animation, cartoons, are the same thing. But just calling something like an animated feature is a bit more sophisticated than saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go watch this cartoon movie."
Exactly. Yeah.
But well, there obviously is a place for each one.
Mm-hmm.
There is cartoons and animation for kids.
Yep.
Which is where it started.
Oh yeah. Which some of them are still really great.
Yeah, some of the stuff that we watched as kids, we still enjoy. It just has a simple, fun message to it.
Yeah, and we are in no way hating on like kids cartoons, but obviously we love those. Like you gotta love the SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And, all of those.
SpongeBob is for all ages. Anyway,
yeah.
But that's something that has really been around for over a century now.
Mm-hmm.
It's grown to new mediums, and we think it's important to let people know really which ones are worth your time,
which ones are not worth your time.
Yeah. And how it's a piece of entertainment that can be for everyone.
And hopefully we can put you on to some good stuff here today if you haven't seen them already.
Yeah. It's some of my favorite movies and TV shows are animated.
Yeah, multiple of my favorite TV shows are animated.
Like, no joke. But
animated TV shows, honestly, like, they just work so well. And they're amazing.
I think one thing that I would say is great about it is the limits to creative and artistic value is endless.
Oh, there's so much you can do in an animated TV show that you would literally never be able to do in just normal live action.
Yeah, even though modern cinema today, digital effects are amazing.
They can do some great things, yeah.
But there's still limits.
Yeah.
To whether it looks...
What a person can do, first of all.
Yeah. And what you can actually portray. And even though you can portray lots of things, it may not look good or it may not look believable.
Yeah.
Because today has great CGI, but there's also some terrible digital effects out there as well.
Yeah.
Well, not so much in recent years. Hollywood focuses on that a lot over storytelling most of the time.
Yeah.
But, back in the dawn of computers, there were some, probably some pretty bad CG in animated movies.
Yeah. Stuff that should have never made it out of the...
Yeah. But, not only is it a avenue of giving you a story or adventure that's pretty much not possible in live action, but it's an outlet for creativity, artistry, and it's really an art form for the artists and the writer and creators. And
honestly, at least me personally, I can think of multiple occasions where I have felt just like stronger emotions like towards an animated show than I have like a live action show. I mean, yes, don't even wrong, obviously live action, it has real people, so it might be, maybe for some people a little bit more relatable, things you can see an actual person, acting out these sequences or having these, emotions. But like, at least for me, like there's just like some things that again like that you can only go so far with like live action, whereas with animation, that I mean, since these aren't real people, they're not real characters, you can make them, like how they look, say, and feel any way you want.
Yeah.
Like there's scenes which we'll get into more later, scenes from Avatar: The Last Airbender, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, that like I definitely was like felt emotional about, because it's like,
Yeah.
and there's just so much build up, I think, that's better in animation, and they do it in the way you can do it better than you can do in live action. And since you you grow such a huge like relationship with these characters over the span of the show.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, acting in live action, that's the reason why they have the Academy Awards, because it's not everything someone can do, and it's really an accomplishment when you can create a moving experience out of something that's still not real, but it's based in real life. And when it comes to cartoons, its thought is not as deep, not as powerful storytelling, and maybe not even like real acting.
Yeah, which honestly, it shouldn't even be that way, because like I said, I have definitely 9 times out of 10 felt more emotions out of some of these animated things than I have for live action.
Yeah, that's agreeable, because I think the way that voice actors work is in a way almost more difficult than real ones, because they have to portray a tone or an emotion without even being in that situation.
Yeah, like honestly, voice actors, I think they're definitely underrated, because like obviously, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure acting is just as hard too, because you're physically putting yourself in this movie. But yeah, like voice actors, they have to portray the appearance and like emotions of an entire character, but only through a voice, like nothing else.
Yeah,
so it's definitely some pretty good skill that they have.
For sure, yeah, because it may be, since they're in an animated feature, it's maybe something that doesn't look like them. It may not even be human.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're able to channel that and give their whole performance through their voice. But at the same time, they don't have to worry about what they look like.
No, yeah.
Which is, it's kind of it's helpful to them, but also an accomplishment on their part.
For sure.
So that's a bit why we think animation and voice actors are underrated, because it's really something that is worth noticing.
Yeah.
And should be appreciated by general society.
Yeah.
And so, as we said, animation's been around for a long time, and it has progressed a lot. So I thought we would take a moment to kind of talk about where it started and where it is now.
Where it is today.
And
where it's going.
Because, like we said, it's been around for like over 100 years. You could say that filmmakers like Walt Disney pioneered the
animation industry.
Popular animation.
Yeah.
He's got Mickey Mouse. He did that started with like Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie, yeah.
And what's great about that is it was simple, but it was hard work. It's stuff that they hand drew.
Yeah.
It's like a flip book,
Yeah, yeah.
So you gotta say that it's pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
How they hand drew all this stuff, like hundreds of pictures, compiled it into a moving picture, hence a motion picture.
Yeah.
And that's an animated little short film. And so, that's how Disney became big. He had Mickey Mouse and Minnie and Goofy and all of those.
All those characters.
The Mouse Gang, and went on to make big movies like Snow White and Cinderella.
Yeah.
Peter Pan.
Great movie.
Yeah. Yeah, you watched Peter Pan a lot when you were younger,
I love Peter
didn't you?
Pan.
Yeah. I watched Jungle Book a lot.
Yeah, we love Jungle Book in this house.
Yeah, so he created all these iconic things to the 40s, 50s, 60s. And then, Disney has always been making animated movies.
Yeah.
Going into the 70s and 80s, they were still going along with that same hand-drawn, real handmade look to things.
Yeah, which I really like.
Which, that's really the basis of where animation is.
Yeah.
2D animation is really a feat.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, animation these days is amazing and what they can do, how really they can make things seem, but yeah, 2D animation, I mean, even though it's 2D, but like, I just love the way it looked. It looks great.
Yeah, like it's simple yet so detailed at the
Yeah,
same
like,
time.
is this movie from the 70s? Yes, but does it still just look like absolutely amazing? Yeah, but it's all of like the super hard work they put into all these hand-drawn scenes. Yeah, it just looks great.
Yeah, the colors, just the way things move.
Yeah.
Now, this is not to diminish modern day animators.
Yeah, no.
They still do amazing work.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some super good stuff out there currently and in the future that I'm excited for.
Modern day Pixar is amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's all 3D rendering and
Mm-hmm.
modeling, but in computer animation.
Still very respectable.
Respectable stuff and still a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's just come a long way from the pen and paper animation.
Yeah.
So both of them are respectable and can be appreciated for the art form it represents. Ever since the beginning of that through the mid-century, it progressed, and it wasn't really until the last 20 or 30 years that computer-generated images, or CGI,
Yep.
really became prevalent in movies,
Yeah.
whether live action or animated.
Yeah.
So, because I think, the first CG movies didn't come around until like the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started making less 2D animated movies. Like the first one I can think of was probably Toy Story.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was mid 90s though.
Yeah. That was like.
It was a couple years before I was born.
Yeah.
And I was late 90s, so I mean, that was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, you
as a
watched
kid.
that all the time.
I probably watched it multiple days a week, if not every day. But that's the thing. When they created this new art form, probably the animators and the kids they were aiming at were like, oh, this is cool. This looks like new stuff.
They had never seen anything like that before.
Because I still have appreciation for things like Toy Story, The Bug's Life,
Yes.
Monsters, Inc.
Monsters, Inc. So good.
Those are all early Disney Pixar films that
The greats.
are the foundations of modern animation.
Pillars.
The pillars. So, nowadays, you go forward. I don't want to say everything is 3D, but most mainstream Hollywood films that are animated,
that hit theaters,
especially from Disney and the like, are going to be 3D CG stuff.
Yeah.
Which still looks great.
Which still can look good for sure, yeah.
But, and I don't want to say they've lost their art, but the art has definitely changed.
Mm-hmm.
And 2D may not be as appreciated anymore.
Yeah.
Or seen as old news.
And I feel like me and you have a pretty good appreciation of 2D, since that's like what was big when we were growing up, since we grew up on all of these, 2D movies. I mean, aside, like you said, aside from movies from like Monsters Inc., Toy Story, but like a lot of the movies, a lot of our favorite movies are actually like the 2D ones.
Yeah, because I guess I'll go out and say this right now. My favorite era of animated movies is probably the 90s to the early 2000s.
Agreed on 100%.
I think we both agree on that.
We both agree, definitely.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Well, we both grew up with it, so.
Yeah.
And I think, right after the turn of the century is when Disney and Pixar started really putting all of their efforts towards 3D animation, which is where we are now, and from then we don't really get much big features like they did back in the day, which I would say it's a bit, I don't want to say disappointing, but it's just not like how it used to be.
Yeah.
Because I think from that time period, one of my favorites, Treasure Planet.
Yes, it's so good.
Such a cool movie.
They honestly should have I would have loved to either had like just more like anything Treasure Planet related. I would have loved to have more.
There's so much lore.
There's so much lore. Like, can we talk about like his dad, what his dad did, or like since he was like a pirate, or like the other worlds of that universe, or like the other adventures he went on after the movie.
There's what happens to Jim Hawkins afterwards.
Yes,
they preview so many worlds that
I know. Like when they were going through that little dial thing at the end, trying to find their home world, they show so many, and I'm like, I want to see these things.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen this, highly recommend.
Treasure Planet, yes, is a Fresh Squeeze certified recommended movie.
Certified movie.
It's certified, fresh from us.
Because it's the Treasure Island story, pirate story, but in space.
But in space. And how can you not love that?
Yeah. We haven't tried it yet, but you bought that. You bought the computer game.
Yeah, like a couple weeks, like maybe like a month or two. I for like a couple bucks, I bought this like Treasure Planet like strategy game on Steam. So we were like, that's why I was like, anything Treasure Planet, I am 100% down.
I'm still excited to try it out because it got great reviews.
Oh, yeah, everybody in the comments was absolutely raving, even though it was like super old. I was like, hey, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah, and so to go along with movies like that, we've also got ones like The Road to El Dorado.
Okay, now if we're going to talk about that movie real quick, if you haven't seen this movie, like, I beg you, please see it. Me and Justin literally have seen this movie so many times.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. The characters are so good. It's so quotable, and I mean, anybody who knows me and Justin, we quote just about anything, and like, I could quote this movie like all day. It's so good.
Yes.
Like, I literally love it so much.
A great adventure story. Two dudes back in the
like 1600s.
Yeah, the mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, of that time.
Stumble upon El Dorado,
the golden city of El Dorado. So that's a great one.
It's so good.
There's the Tarzan movie.
Yes.
So that's got some great animation moments.
Of course.
Great music.
Iconic. Great. Oh yeah, great soundtrack.
Phil Collins.
Okay, come on. Who doesn't love a good Phil Collins? Like, my man's the GOAT out here. Okay.
Yeah, it's because those movies also had some great soundtracks.
Yeah.
And like made by like known musicians.
Yeah, they really had some big budget.
Because Tarzan was Phil Collins, and who was in El Dorado? It was Elton John who did El Dorado.
Was it really? I actually didn't know that.
I think yeah.
That's great.
And yeah, things like that. Those are probably some top ones. Oh, I can't forget Emperor's New Groove.
Oh my gosh, yes. We just watched that actually, what, like a couple weeks ago?
Sometime it was before the end of the year.
Yeah,
last year.
We watched that. I love that movie so much.
Yeah, I just saw online it was the 20th anniversary of that.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, that was some prime stuff.
Like I love Kronk. He's so good.
you gotta do the voice.
I can't do the voice. All right, let me do the voice. All right. Cusco's poison. The poison specifically for Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Hey.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah. And so, if you haven't seen any of those movies, highly recommend.
Definitely.
My favorite ones from that era. And yeah, we can touch on some other ones too. You go back another 10, 15 years, we used to watch a lot of movies like The Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, I used to watch that all the time, yeah.
The Rescuers.
Yes.
We also like the sequel, The Rescuers
Down Under. Super good movie.
They go to Australia.
I mean, the first one is good, but yeah, the second one is so good. Yeah, because they go to Australia, and I don't know. I used to, like, I've always loved Australia because I just think it's cool, so I used to watch that all the time.
They got to fight against that
animal poacher
guy.
Yeah, animal poacher, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, like the mid 70s to early 2000s all have prime modern 2D animated movies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are my favorite ones from that time. There's probably more I'm not even thinking of right now.
We're probably gonna like in this episode and be like, oh my gosh, we should have talked about this movie.
Yeah.
It always happens. Me and you have a pretty similar favorites, which works out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we spent our whole lives.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, at least it's not one of us isn't like, dang, I hate that movie.
No, it's very rarely that there's a movie that I love and he hates, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But yeah, if any of those are your favorites, comment that on our social media. We can share the love for it.
Yeah, or if you haven't seen those, yeah, please go watch them.
Please. And so yeah, and then when it comes to newer animation, there's still lots of ones that we can appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
Mid 2000s Pixar movies. One of the favorites that we just watched, Ratatouille. Anyone can cook. All right, Gusteau. Yes.
I love that movie.
So, what is it about us watching animated movies with rats and mice?
I just realized that. Rescuers, Great Mouse Detective, Ratatouille. I don't know. Maybe you just like mice and rats are just such compelling characters. I don't know.
They're so relatable.
I've never related
You
more
see
than
that
to a
rat,
rat.
you're like, I feel you, bro.
Hey, rat, I feel what you're going through right now. Stick with it, homie. You know, like.
if there is a rodent protagonist, I'm here for it.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, shout out to all our rat fans out there.
Yeah. But hey, Pixar is still great. Ratatouille, you got
Incredibles.
Classic. Up.
Uh,
I love Up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I know some people don't like
Some
it,
people,
but I like
some
it.
people don't appreciate Up. They say it's too boring. They
Or
say it's too sad.
It's like, oh, it's so good though.
It's enjoyable. It's uplifting.
Yeah, uplifting.
Ah!
Oh, I'm sorry, that was so bad.
Okay. Yeah, I already mentioned Toy Story. That was my favorite growing up.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, the second one's pretty great. When he meets Jesse and the prospector.
I'd say like that's like, because like the first one is like, you know, is like introducing all the characters.
It's
and
the
stuff.
iconic
That's
one.
that's iconic, you know, Buzz and Woody. But I feel like the second one is also just that's like prime Toy Story, because that's when like, you know, the full gang comes together.
Yeah.
Because then Jesse comes in. And so I don't know, that one's good too.
Yeah, and then
Wait, and is that the one that has Al's Toy Barn?
yes,
Yeah.
Al's Toy Barn.
Oh, that's so good.
I don't know what that. I was trying to do an impression of him.
Yeah, I don't know
there.
what that was either.
I don't know what that was.
It didn't work out really.
Okay, but the commercials for that in the movie
Yeah,
were
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
And the Toy Story 3 is good too. You know, it's a lot emotional.
Yeah. Oh, that's definitely. I'm not gonna lie. We saw it in theaters. I think I almost like shed a tear.
Yeah, we saw it in theaters.
I was actually pretty sad.
And we were just kids.
Yeah, I mean that's the point. Is you grow up with these characters, and when you're still a kid, they're like, "Hey kids, yeah, we're gonna pretend to kill off these characters that you've known your entire
We all
life."
think they're gonna get incinerated.
Oh my gosh,
at
I
the
know
end.
they were about to go.
But,
yeah.
You know, a fine family movie about growing up and
Yes.
becoming mature.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay, I just thought of this movie, and if we went through this entire episode and didn't bring up this movie once, there's gonna be a problem.
Okay.
And that I reference at least on the weekly, if more than that. Do you have any idea what I'm gonna say?
Not without any clues.
All right. If anybody out there has not seen this movie, please, like I said, please go see this movie.
Wait, let me guess.
Wait, what is it?
Is it Surf's Up?
No, it wasn't that, but that's also a good. We just watched that. I mean, we watched a lot of movies, but yeah, Surf's Up is also a good one.
Yeah.
But no, I was just saying Robots.
Oh my
So
gosh.
good. I love that movie.
Like, it's definitely on. I'm not gonna say it's the best movie ever, but
No, but it is. It's like there's just something about it. It's just different. Okay,
it's different. It's
Like,
quirky.
Because we've got was it Ewan McGregor
Yeah, he does
as Rodney, and then Robin Williams
As his friend.
as
Fender.
Fender, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this movie's so funny. I mean, if you enjoy like,
Wait. Where's Big Will?
I love that clip so much.
If you don't understand the memes,
I
now
mean,
you have
if
to watch
none
it.
of this we're saying makes sense, you just gotta watch the movie, then you'll like understand all of it. But like, there's just something so good about that movie, and I don't know. It
is really funny.
I mean, if you enjoy just like stupid humor,
Yeah.
like it's for you, like for sure. And it's so good.
Yeah, Robots, Surf's Up. Those are kind of stupid humor
those are just
movies.
stupid humor, but they're so good.
Yeah.
Like, how can you watch this movie and not laugh?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I mean, we love a good stupid comedy.
Yeah,
so.
come on. Who doesn't like that? I just turn my brain off and just enjoy what's happening.
Yeah. Whether animated or not. so.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't turn this into a Robots fan
Yeah,
podcast.
okay, I'll try not to,
But,
alright.
No, I appreciate you mentioning that. That's a good one. But so yeah, those are probably our favorite modern day films.
Yeah.
There's other ones, but you know I can't mention everything.
You can't mention every movie, yeah.
I did want to mention what I think was interesting at the Oscar Academy Awards. There is a category for best animated feature.
Yes.
And some of the best ones have been put in that.
Mhm.
The first one was they instituted it in 2002, I think, and it was Shrek.
Yes.
Like, come on, who doesn't like
who
Shrek?
doesn't love Shrek?
Even the Academy Awards was like, this movie's great. We have to give it its own
Yes.
category to win something.
Basically, Shrek, it was a revolutionary movie.
Yes.
We all know that.
When Shrek 5 coming?
I don't know. When is Shrek 5 coming?
I'm asking you.
Didn't Shrek 5 already come out? Or is it Shrek 6 that's coming out?
No, I think there's only 4.
Is it really? Wait, because wasn't the last one with like
Rumpelstiltskin?
Wasn't that 5?
No, there's only been 4.
Oh, okay.
Do we need to run them out right now?
Maybe. Yeah.
There's Shrek 1.
Shrek 1.
There's Shrek 2, where they go to Fiona's parents'
And
place.
then there's Shrek 3 Forever After, right?
Oh, it was Shrek the Third, and they meet King Arthur.
Oh, you're right.
Which, that was my least favorite one.
Yeah, that one was okay. I mean, yeah.
And then they Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes.
Okay.
So there has been 4. Okay. There's just so many Shreks. But okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, the second one was called Forever After. That's what it was.
No, it was just Shrek 2.
Oh. I'm just wrong. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, Shrek won the first Oscar for animated feature. And I think some of them we already mentioned that are great, like Up won, Ratatouille won. I mean, Disney kind of monopolizes it, but one of the ones I thought was strange, Happy Feet won.
Oh, really?
Which is an okay movie.
I mean, Happy Feet's kind of mid. Yeah.
It's kind of mid, but the only thing I ever got from that is make sure you cut up your plastic containers that your pop come in.
I literally, ever since I've seen the movie, I think I've only seen the movie like once, but every time we get like a thing of Gatorade, of Coke, of pop, whatever, I'm always just like, gotta pull out the scissors and start cutting.
You don't want the penguins choking on it.
These emperor penguins aren't gonna make it if I don't cut these things.
That movie was kind of scarring. But
it kind of I remember like the leopard seal. I low-key had like a subtle fear of leopard seals after that movie. So I was like, dang, these dudes are scary.
They're like, we're going to give these kids a cute penguin movie, but also scare them about polluting the earth.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it worked. Because we
global
remember
warming.
So
well, that one won.
It does work.
One that won in recent years. It's not Disney. It's not Pixar. Sony Pictures Animation. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
It's the peak of animation.
That movie is a prime example, of the pinnacle of modern day animation.
Yeah,
like
it deserves every award.
Every praise, all the praise. So good. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. Great animation, great story, great characters, amazing soundtrack.
Yes.
The soundtrack is.
If we want to talk about movie soundtracks, that's another
episode. We'll get to that, but like amazing everything.
Yeah.
Still got the second one coming up, which I'm looking forward to.
So yeah, we saw that in the theater. It was really cool.
Super
all of our
good.
friends were into it.
Yeah.
It's it's mostly 2D graphical comic book like animation.
Yeah, that's right. It's cool.
But it's also detailed, a little bit of CG integration.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
It's a perfect blend of both of them for sure.
Phenomenal movie. Definitely would put it towards the top of what I would recommend.
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, I think it's safe to say it's definitely towards the top of just like, I mean, at least personally, like superhero movies in general. That one's just so good. I mean, even though it's animated, it's still that good because again, animation needs to have more praise.
Yeah, just like people love Marvel movies. Oh, the Avengers and Black Panther and Guardians of the Galaxy. Those are all great. Someone's like, oh, I heard this Spider-Man movie's cool. It's just an animated movie, but I guess I'll watch it.
It must not be much, since it's just animated. But like, the thing, there's no way they could have done that movie live action
and made it as cool.
No way.
No way.
It wouldn't have done. I mean, would it have been good? I mean, it's Marvel, it's Disney. I'm sure it'd have been.
Like I'm sure, like
it would have been your what do you say? Like your average, just like good superhero movie. But like this was like above and beyond. I would say
like I don't want to cause any ruckus here, but it might be one of the best Spider-Man movies ever.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no.
I'm sorry, Toby fans, but
it had to be said.
Because they're promising that the next Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland is going to be the biggest one ever.
He said it's going to be the biggest standalone superhero movie ever.
I'm excited to see what they put together.
Yeah, we'll see.
But I'm also staying cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Because there's this thing that I like to refer to as the Spider-Man 3 curse. Which this is going a little off topic, but we'll cover this quickly.
Real quick.
So, the first modern day Spider-Man movies was with Tobey Maguire.
Mm-hmm.
They made 2 of them. They made a 3rd one, and it was subpar.
Not gonna lie, I don't know what was going on there.
And then they rebooted it with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. They made a 2nd one. It was all right.
It was okay.
But they had a great setup.
Oh, super good setup.
I was so excited for Sinister Six.
Oh my, Lily, just give me that, please.
And then they canceled it.
And then they're like, nope, not happening.
And then
So-
Tom Holland came around.
And another Spider-Man reboot
which
series.
I'm a fan of Tom
Which
Holland.
we're both Tom Holland fans here.
The new one's cool. You had Homecoming and Far From Home. Cool modern Spider-Man stories.
Yep.
So now we're getting around to the 3rd chance at a 3rd Spider-Man movie.
We're yet again at the 3 spot.
And they're really hyping it up with all these characters, this convoluted storyline.
I know.
So we'll see how it goes.
So
But anyway,
back to animation.
just had to, sometimes you get going little rants.
Small Spider-Man tangent.
But I think that wraps together well our thoughts on the best animated feature films.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that's not all.
That's definitely not all.
What's the other notable medium we need to focus
is this my
on?
time?
Or, well, do you want to mention the? Well, we can mention the first layer of animation, and then we can go on to another side.
Right. Yeah.
So, TV animation.
TV animation.
TV shows.
We got some good ones coming up here.
Like we said, we're not talking about Nick Jr. and PBS Kids. We're talking about Cartoon Network. We're talking about Nickelodeon. We're talking about
Yeah.
stuff of that nature. Okay, we're just gonna lay it out.
We're gonna lay it out here. This is the law.
One of, if not the best animated series of the modern era, is what I like to. Well, it's what it's really called, but Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Get on it if you haven't. Okay. This show does not mess around. Okay. Like, obviously, now me and Justin are both big time Star Wars fans.
We're big advocates for this show.
And we are the biggest advocates for this show because, I mean, if you've seen the Star Wars movies, and you've seen The Mandalorian and stuff, and you want more Star Wars content, okay? If you have not seen this show is probably some of the best Star Wars content that is available.
Yeah,
right now.
Fantastic world building and storytelling. Because, like we said, we all love the originals.
Yeah.
Plenty of people appreciate the prequels.
Yep.
And if you like the sequels, that's cool.
That's cool if you like that.
But it's within what's referred to as the prequel era.
Yeah.
The height of the Jedi Order.
Yes.
A lot of people say that those movies, although enjoyable, are kind of shallow, based on there's so much introduced at once, and we never learn about all those characters.
Oh well, buddy, you've got something coming for you.
You got it coming.
You better buckle up, strap in, because you've got 7 seasons of absolute, like, amazing story, animation, and characters waiting for you.
It really enhances those 3 prequel movies, and really makes you appreciate not only characters of Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Mace Windu. Introduces great characters like Ahsoka Tano, who she's gone or skyrocketed into Star Wars legendary status.
Mm-hmm. Other big name characters that they introduced, characters like Cad Bane.
Yeah. We had Aura Singh. Which is a character that we saw for 2 seconds in The Phantom Menace.
Yeah. And, like, what I love about Clone Wars is, like, characters, again, I like Aura Singh that we barely saw in the movies, or they died instantly in the movies. You get so much backstory on them that actually makes you appreciate them.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest example for me of this is Kit Fisto.
Yeah.
Because anybody who's seen Kit Fisto in the movies, we see him on the Battle of Geonosis and Attack of the Clones. He might try some battle droids. And then we see him in...
cracks the smile.
Yeah, he cracks the smile because he's cool. And then, we see him in Revenge of the Sith where, he just pulls up to Palpatine and just gets chopped in half. Killed, yeah. And just like that. And, I'm like, oh, yeah, his character is done. But no, in Clone Wars, his character was just so, like, they
fleshed
so
out
deep into
his
character and everybody else's character that you can really appreciate them as a character. And he was but you find out he was like such a cool. I mean, he's a cool guy. I mean, he's a great Jedi, and just a he's
Yeah. Also characters like Plo Koon.
Plo Koon. Oh yes.
Luminara.
Luminara is cool.
And then, I mean, we could go on. There's episode arcs for everything.
Yeah.
Other cool characters: Asajj Ventress, Savage Opress.
Yeah.
It's when they bring back the character of Darth Maul.
Yes. Spoilers.
Okay. We won't say any more spoiler stuff, but if you haven't seen it, you just know what to look forward to.
Yeah, it's coming.
So, and what's also not only great but important about it, the show came out over 10 years ago. We watched it on Cartoon Network when it came out.
We grew up and watched this show every Friday for years.
So we're original fans.
Yes.
But if you're jumping on right now, we applaud you for enjoying it now.
Oh yeah. Just as valid now as if you were from the start.
But what's important about it is it was cool back then. 10 years later, we've got shows like The Mandalorian.
Yes.
And there's characters being brought in like Ahsoka and Bo-Katan.
Yep. And modern fans nowadays who haven't seen the Clone Wars but have seen Mandalorian now, they might be like, oh, that's cool. There's another Jedi alive, but so they think it's cool, but they might not have as much of an appreciation as if you've seen the Clone Wars, then you're already so attached to this character, and you know her, you know about her, you love her as a character, and then you're like, because I remember when we found out that she was coming to Mandalorian, we were ecstatic. We were going crazy because like you said, we've already been seeing and following Ahsoka's story for years on years, and then finally we're seeing her come to live action, which was insane.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, because you appreciate so much the character arcs and development from the Clone Wars all the way to the Mandalorian, and so going back and watch it. It helps you enjoy the new content as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And a third point of why Clone Wars is the best thing ever, it is created by a man called Dave Filoni.
Yes.
He joined Lucasfilm and was trained one-on-one by the creator himself, George Lucas.
So he's basically...
He's
basically the apprentice.
He is Lucas's, apprentice on making great Star Wars stories.
Yeah.
So he made the Clone Wars. After that, he went on to make another series called Star Wars Rebels.
Yep.
And now he is producing The Mandalorian, and along with Jon Favreau,
yes,
he directed movies like Iron Man,
yep,
and made the new Jungle Book and Lion King movies.
Yeah,
both phenomenal storytellers, great directors. Definitely
some of the greatest and my favorites.
So yeah. So that's Clone Wars, and then the show Rebels is also very great as well.
Yeah.
For what it is.
I'm currently watching it right now because I had never seen it except the first season.
Yeah.
And Justin had already watched it a year ago, so now he's taking me through it.
So yeah, it's the continuation of Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some great Jedi and Empire rebellion conflicts.
Yeah.
It is a great addition to the saga. So that's that on Star Wars animation. Another great animated series that I've been introduced to lately. I've been sleeping on for years.
I was glad Justin finally got on this train.
Yeah.
Because I'd say it's been maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. Our cousin introduced me to this show because she grew up watching this show, and then she was like, Jeremy, I think you'd really like this show, and we watched. So there's 4 seasons, okay. And we watched, all 4 seasons, and some people, this might be a lot, but we were also, doing other things at the time. We watched it in over a week and a half, maybe, I don't know, max 2 weeks, and it has grown to be one of my favorite animated shows of all time. And that show is, Justin?
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
It's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh yes, okay.
Featuring our favorite bald boy Aang.
Our favorite bald boy Aang. Oh man.
Yeah, really cool show, because it's all about these characters who have elemental powers, and
Yep.
they use those powers to fight against
The forces of
the
evil.
forces of evil in their land.
Yeah. You know, some can control water, some can control air, fire, earth. So,
Yeah. What's really cool about this is a very simplistic animated show. It's 2D.
2D.
It's not. I don't want to. It's not super detailed. It's just nice flat animation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I like the most.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of animated shows I like the most.
Yeah.
But then going back to Clone Wars, what's interesting about that show, it's a modern CG show.
Yeah.
But it looks fantastic.
But it looks amazing.
And it works best for that kind of show.
Yeah.
But then on the other spectrum, Avatar works great in this
It really does. Yeah.
kind of sketched out medium.
Yeah. And we definitely would recommend Avatar because
Avatar is really cool.
it has, again, amazing story, amazing characters, and like a soundtrack which is also great. It's just because I mean, it's just one of my favorite shows of all time, honestly.
Yeah.
And then it just recently last year came on onto Netflix, so if you haven't watched it, you can go watch it there.
Mhm.
I remember when it came out last year. I think it was about the same time last year. I think, or during the summer. Like, it became like hugely popular again because, you know, past fans who had seen it watched it again. A ton of new people were introduced into that show. So everyone can appreciate Avatar. So it's really good.
Yeah, and when it comes to a show like Avatar, I'm a very new generation fan.
Yeah.
And you weren't original.
No,
but you
no.
were about midlife.
I had still seen it a
of-
couple of years ago at this point.
Yeah. So I'm one of those newcomers who really enjoys it, and that's okay. When
Yeah.
some people liked it when it first came out, and some people like it when it comes back around.
Because me and my cousin who originally showed me it and some of our other friends, we kept telling Justin, we were like, Justin, you gotta get on the show. You gotta
Yeah.
get on the show. You gotta get on the show.
At
It's
first,
so
I
good."
doubted.
And Justin's like,
I was
I
like-
don't know. I mean, you know. And I was like, I see. Since I live with him, I can be like constantly. You watch that show yet? Start that show yet? You know.
And
So-
so I grinded it by myself, and I
Grinded
really
out.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then after that, me and you got to bed together and watched the sequel show.
Yep. And then after Avatar is the next show, Legend of Korra, which follows along the same lines. Just a little bit. There's a time jump between the two shows. So the main cast is a little bit older than the ones that are still left. Not spoiler.
Yeah.
I'm
let's
not
not spoil
saying,
it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying the ones that are there because it's so.
It's in the future after those characters.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's based on a different group of main characters.
Yeah.
But it follows the same guidelines as the first show.
I knew what to expect since I had seen Avatar, but I think I liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, because neither of us had seen
We had never
Korra when
seen
we
it.
watched it.
I figured, oh, it's another Avatar show, but I didn't know if it was the inferior one.
Yeah.
I really, because Avatar it's about like teenager kids.
Yeah, they're like teenagers in
Aang's
Avatar.
12 or something.
Yeah, or like 14 or something. I think they're 14.
Yeah, okay. But and then in Korra, she's the main character.
Yeah.
They're all it's a bit more of a mature young adult
Young
cast.
adult, yeah, because they're like 17, 18.
I think Korra's like 21 by the end of it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed being able to relate to a slightly older cast of characters.
Yeah,
And it's
that was good.
slightly more mature tone.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Especially like in the later seasons.
yeah.
And the show has really good, compelling villains.
Yeah, really great villains.
Like, really good.
So, we won't get into any more of that just to not draw it out or to spoil or anything. But
yeah.
that's another great series that we
Basically,
recommend.
Yeah. If you've seen Avatar or if you haven't watched that, and if you're into that, yeah, Korra's good too. So.
Yeah. And those are the top two series that we both really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Some other ones that we can just touch on briefly. I've been watching Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
It's what's considered like the Batman animated version of himself.
Yeah.
It was in the early 90s.
Classic Batman.
It's a classic Batman, like more inspired from classic comics, 2D animation, very simple but very effective. I've really been enjoying it so far. Like, we had seen before on TV, like the Batman and the Superman
Every once in a while,
show.
yeah, we used to like when we were younger, we used to just like scroll through and watch like the Batman or Superman animated show.
So yeah, we've seen it.
The ones that we
scattered
did see,
before.
we liked. So
Yeah. So yeah, great '90s animation.
yeah,
I'm
for sure.
getting through it right now. Some great, compelling episodes. I think we've agreed before that DC Comics really has the superior animated series.
Yeah, DC is definitely stronger with their TV shows
Yeah.
than Marvel. So yeah, Marvel obviously movies
Live action
super strong, and
movies.
live action TV shows and movies strong. Where DC, their animated shows they just reign superior in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
they're really good, and there's so many of them too. So many good ones too.
Yeah, because I've been watching Batman on HBO Max, and they have all the other animated movies and animated shows.
Yeah, there's tons of Batman animated movies.
And there was plenty of sequel shows, but I'm sure this is probably the best one.
Yeah.
And there's also shows like Young Justice.
Ooh.
We've been wanting to rewatch that.
Yeah, and we haven't seen the newest seasons either.
Yeah, I've only seen like the first 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But, so
But what we have seen, that show is really good.
Yeah, it's a cool DC animated show. I look forward to watching that again soon after we finish Rebels.
Yep.
So yeah, DC animation solid.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much memorable Marvel stuff, but you give some, you take some on each side.
Yeah.
And let's see. Yeah, the past year I've really indulged in lots of streaming content.
Yeah.
Based off having lots of time for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched Avatar for the first time. I'm watching the shows that we're doing now. And one that I rediscovered that was really cool on Disney Plus was Tron Uprising.
Oh yeah.
It's based off the movie Tron, where I don't know where it is in the timeline, but there was the newer one, Tron Legacy. It's more around that time period. So that's some cool kind of. It's also on the line between 3D and 2D animation.
Yeah, because I remember I had watched it when it was out.
It was on Disney.
It was on Disney. I used to watch it, and then you just must have not watched it as much
I
as
had seen
I
a
did.
couple episodes, but
yeah,
rewatching it was a pretty cool show.
Yeah.
And it definitely needs a season 2.
Yeah, because doesn't the I remember you said after the first season you're like, yeah, there definitely needs to be a
They
second one.
totally
because of how it ended. Yeah,
how it ended. They're like, this is what's happening, but
you don't get to find out.
Yeah. The whole Tron saga is something we're really into.
Yeah, we're big
and,
Tron fans here.
We'll talk about that another sometime. We hope that the continuation of it is good in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, animated TV, some of the pinnacle stuff right there. Again, check out Clone Wars and Rebels on Disney Plus. Check out Avatar and Korra on Netflix. DC on HBO. Great content.
Great content.
Do not shy away from it just because it's animated.
Definitely take advantage of that. Take advantage of those 7-day free trials, people. All right, it'll be worth it.
Yeah. Even though I think HBO canceled.
Yeah,
that
they
right
got
now.
rid of theirs, rip. But yeah.
Yeah. So, we plan on having a discussion about streaming services soon.
Yes, because we've had lots of experience with those.
Yeah,
so.
it's something that's very prevalent right now, so that's something we want to cover.
Yeah.
So now that we got that discussed, there's another side of TV animation that we want Jeremy to mostly explain.
Yeah,
because
I have most of the experience in this era.
This is something that most people are definitely hesitant to delve into.
Yes. Now, I'm sure you might be able to guess what it is now, but now most people, when they hear this word, they instantly think of some weird and cringy cartoon. And now, I will say, I'm going to be honest, some of the people who watch this show or watch these shows, and some of these shows are weird, and some of them are cringy. But what I'm talking about is Japanese anime. Now, unlike Justin's not really into it. I personally am big into anime. I've seen a decent amount. And, even if it's not for you, which that's okay, it's not really for everybody. Even if you don't personally watch it yourself, like there's some things that I could show you or show people, and you'd have to agree that I've seen some of the most beautiful animations ever, across and some of these Japanese anime shows and movies. They're just simply amazing because the reason why I really like them is, well, one, like we talked about earlier, like the original, like, you know, earlier in like the 2000s, just like, you know, Disney movies or like early 90s, it was all drawn.
Yeah.
And most anime is hand drawn.
Yeah.
So, and that's why it just looks so good, especially like older anime. I love a lot of different shows from different eras. I mean, I've seen a lot of newer shows. I've been starting to watch a lot of older shows, and I mean, I like both, but there's, at least me personally, there's just something about older Japanese anime art style that's simply beautiful.
Oh, I can agree.
Yeah, like and I think it's just the amount of detail and work they put into each frame of the movie that really blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like a couple of shows that I can name off right now, like shows with great animation that are a little bit older, like Cowboy Bebop. It's basically about space cowboys, bounty hunters. I'm currently watching that right now. I'm a couple episodes in. Great soundtrack. Yes, it's in English. It's really good in English. Characters and animation is really good. Other shows like Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's another older show, but like the animation, I really enjoy it. It's just, I mean, even since I'm young, I have the card to say it feels retro since I'm younger. So,
even though it's just not within your lifespan.
Even though it's not within I wasn't born yet, but like it, to me, it feels like that vintage retro, just like vibe.
Yeah,
I really like it.
It's also within the same time periods as some of our favorite, you know, regular animation as well.
So it kind of goes hand in hand.
Goes hand in hand.
Yeah, and another thing is the movie Akira.
Yeah.
That came out in the 80s. Just there's something like the colors and the colors in that movie and the drawings and the way it was. I just love the animation in that movie. I think it's simply amazing.
Yeah.
So
that is one of the few recent anime things that I watched with Jeremy recently.
I got Justin to watch it with me.
He got me to watch it with him.
So
I did enjoy it. I appreciated it mostly for its artistic and visual value.
Yeah,
it had,
for sure.
It just looked really cool. It's a bit of a deep thinker.
It's definitely a deep thinker, and you're gonna be left confused. But I mean, that doesn't stop me from liking it.
I just wanted to watch it because I heard it was popular in the community, and I did appreciate it for what it was.
Mm-hmm. And I think another thing that I think this is really what draws most people to watch Japanese anime is, like we said, same thing with like shows like normal animated shows or shows like Clone Wars or Avatar, is the storytelling in some of these shows is unlike anything I've ever seen. And like we said, there's just some things that you cannot convey in live action with real people as you can, at least in some of the anime that I've seen.
I would say, even more so in anime than regular.
Yeah, and especially emotions. Now, I'm not even going to shy away and say it. There has been multiple anime that I have, like, when I finished it, I have either during it or towards the end, I have shed tears, bro. Like, because, like, the emotions of these characters that they build with you over these shows is super good. Like, and some of these I honestly would recommend. And
yeah, man, no shame.
Yeah, and especially, for example, like the longer shows. Like, for example, I'm in the process of finishing Naruto Shippuden, which, for those who don't know, there's two separate shows. The first show is 200 episodes long. The second one, which I'm on, is 500 episodes long. So 700 in total. I'm like 380 episodes in the second series. And
big stuff.
Especially shows like that, you after watching so many, I mean, I know a lot of people have controversial opinions about this show. I personally love it. But, like, after so many episodes, you become so attached with so many characters. And then, I'm not saying spoilers, but when some characters do end up dying, you really feel like a part of you is lost. I mean, I would hope so after I've watched almost 700 episoad's of this show. I'm going to feel some sort of, like sadness after this character dies, you know what I mean? After seeing them go from, young kids to, like, young adult teenagers.
Mm-hmm. So,
for me, it's really just the storytelling in these shows that's simply amazing. And especially with newer shows, newer shows, they have great story and animation. Because, like, even though I do love older animation, newer animation style is great too. Now, some shows have been using also CGI.
Yeah.
One example of show is Attack on Titan, which I've been watching and seen all of so far.
That's not really a CG show, is
it?
No,
well, no, the newest season is. So the first 3 seasons of the show were all hand drawn. But now for this fourth and final season of the show, they changed studios.
Oh, interesting.
And this studio, not for the whole show, but for some aspects of the show, they're using CG, mainly for like the Titans or these giants in the show. And
has that proved to be controversial?
The community is definitely pretty divided. Some people like it, some people don't. I personally have no issue with it. I think it looks fine. I mean, I'm just glad we're getting a final season anyway. But I mean, especially shows like that where it's not only good animation and great story is why I really like this genre of show.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, not pushing any of these shows on anybody. I'm just sharing my personal opinion. But like, there is honestly a reason why an episode in season 3 of this show is the number 1 highest rated TV episode of all time on IMDb. More than any other show in TV history, Attack on Titan has one of the highest rated shows of all time.
Yeah.
Or it's episodes, I mean.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Not only an animated show, but an anime show.
And I mean, like I said, people have very strong opinions. Either you're with it or you're against it. But I mean, you can't deny, I guess, facts at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
I respect your intense interest in it.
Yeah.
I've delved into a few things more recently to expand my horizons.
Like I said, it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
No.
Not all of them are definitely not for me.
No, you definitely have to be careful about which ones you watch. Yeah, pick and choose.
Yeah.
But
the especially like you said, the more mainstream movies and the like really super popular status shows and classic movies are more worth it for public viewing than hardcore anime fans.
Yeah. And even though now there's also a group of movies that, even though they are technically anime, I think a lot of people who don't generally watch that genre of show still enjoy, and that is Studio Ghibli movies.
Yeah.
Now
that definitely, you would say that's a departure from what people would traditionally treat like regular anime versus.
People might be more apt to watch these than normal anime. Even though they are still Japanese animated movies, these movies are also, the creator who made these movies, they have a partnership with Disney. And Disney actually helps create the English versions of these movies.
Yeah,
and
so that's cool.
I think, I mean, don't quote me on this. I think there's like 10 or 15 total. But the 4 most popular ones, I've seen all 4 now. And they are truly some of the like best animated, like at least anime I've seen, because not only is, like I say, it's that same old school drawn like animation, which, like I said, even if you don't like that genre, you have to admit it looked beautiful. There's so much detail in these worlds that they've created and these characters that they've created, and there's just the amount of sheer time they put into these movies. And they all turn amazing. They're all very, very critically acclaimed. At least the main 4 are, and the soundtracks for these are also amazing.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the soundtracks are just absolutely beautiful. Like, yeah. And what else is there? Yeah, like the characters really good.
Because it almost seems like mainstream things like Studio Ghibli, which are held at a high bar.
Oh, it's a very high.
You could say they're regular stories, but just portrayed through I guess you could say the beauty of animation.
Yeah, it's normal stories. Yeah, just through traditional Japanese anime art style.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So, and I mean, honestly, I would still recommend them to, even if you don't watch, even if you're not really into normal Japanese anime, like these are still really good movies, especially since they're partnered with Disney. Like the English dubs over the movie are really well done, in my opinion.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Yeah, and then one final aspect on my portion about Japanese anime is, so there is one studio in particular that I can think of that has created the most beautiful movies and shows that I've ever seen. Just like, I mean, obviously, like, I'm not saying they're better than others. So I'm just saying, like, the animation quality is just, like, there's no other word to describe it besides beautiful and, like, just amazing and jaw dropping. I mean, if I could show pictures, I would. Obviously, I can't since this is only audio. But if anybody wants to, and if they have the time, look up Kyoto Studio or Kyoto Animation. It's like so Kyoto. They make the most beautiful movies and like anime movies and shows out there. Shows like the movie Your Name, and movies like Weathering with You or the show Violet Evergarden. Those three. I've seen all three of those, and two are movies, one's a show, and yeah, they're just. I'll have to show you later, Justin. But like, yeah, the animation
Just the imagery
is
for it?
so like. There's no other way to describe how it is unless you see it, but it's so crisp, and it's so colorful and beautiful, and it really blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like I'll see like videos on like Instagram or TikTok or YouTube and be like these movies in 4K, and they just look jaw dropping. So that's why I also just love this genre, because the animation can be just unbelievably good.
Yeah, and that's what we're focusing
Yeah.
on is the artistry and beauty of animation.
For sure, and of all different types.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can't have an animation episode without talking about this big, other type of animation, of course.
As we said, mainstream Hollywood animation is what most people are familiar with, but this is still an important subculture of popular worldwide
Definitely.
animation.
Yeah, and which is slowly starting to become more popular in the western half of the world, United States and stuff like that, in Europe.
Yeah.
So.
Because I think just me as a artistically minded person appreciate most, the visuals of those movies and the colors. So I think this was a nice point to mention.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
People can expand their mind even more.
Yeah.
So I think that was a nice part on our animated television series.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think explaining about both movies, TV throughout the years, and which ones we like, what parts of it we think is really important to focus on, how that really points out, once again, what we were emphasizing, how important and valuable of a storytelling outlet these things can be.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to emphasize again that, once again, these type of features can really bring powerful storytelling and just be really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, like they can be like some of the anime movies, in my opinion, are like some of the funniest, because you can do just so much stuff with animated characters that makes it so funny.
Yeah, because like we said, we enjoy dramatic and action-packed movies like Spider-Verse or Treasure Planet, but like we said, El Dorado and Emperor's New Groove, hilarious, enjoyable movies.
Yeah, robots, those
robots.
Gotta bring it up again. It's just absolutely so funny. So that's another great aspect about animated movies and TV shows.
Yeah, so we can't emphasize enough how much we love them.
Yeah.
And how people who think of it just as a medium that is inferior or less professional is a bit shallow-minded.
Yeah, like Justin. Yeah, if you're not watching a certain show that when multiple people recommend to you only because it's animated, you should really
get over the hump.
I mean, like animation is here to stay, and there's really some great things out there, as we've mentioned today. And if you can just get over that initial hump, I mean, even if you're a little older, if you can just get over that initial hump of, yes, you're watching something that's not live action, it's animated, there's just a lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah, because it's for all ages. You got stuff for little kids, you got stuff for teens, young adults, and adults.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be the contrast of, I'm watching stuff on Nick Jr. and I'm watching, rather mature themed stuff on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
But there is happy medium.
There's a nice happy medium,
that all ages can enjoy for different reasons.
Yeah. Shows like Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Like Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Like we said, we could not be bigger advocates for this show.
Okay. Yeah. But because that has elements of great action,
great story,
cool characters that little kids can enjoy, and great story elements,
great
story
overarching,
arcs that adults can appreciate.
For sure.
It's amazing. But that was a nice examination of animation and
through
TV.
the ages.
Through the ages. But we have so much stuff that we love in the past, but there's a lot of stuff we can look forward to in the next coming months or years.
For sure,
coming from big studios.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest sequels we're looking forward to that is coming from Sony Pictures Animation.
Yes.
You wanna say that?
Is it Spider-Verse 2?
Yeah. No official title yet.
No official title yet, but
we're supposedly getting it sometime next year.
I just hope so. I just want to see more 2099 Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's gonna be
that's
sick.
my guy. So we're excited for that.
But that was definitely probably one of the most labor-intensive animated films made in recent memory.
It took like 4 years to make that, right?
They spent like 4 years on it.
And it definitely paid off.
Once again, made by hand. Got to give those guys props.
For sure.
So that's something we're really looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
In the TV streaming world, a follow-up series to the Clone Wars with the same animation in the Star Wars universe is called The Bad Batch.
Yes.
So I think that's slated for sometime in the spring.
I think so. And if you've seen the latest season 7 of the Clone Wars, then you'll know what that show what characters
about.
That'll be kind of with and about. So
yeah, so that'll be cool. And then also combining the worlds of Star Wars and anime.
Yeah.
Lucasfilm announced
Star Wars Visions.
Yeah.
Which I'm optimistic. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure. We don't really know much about it, but
yeah, they said they're working with some of the biggest anime studios.
Yeah.
And I think it's somehow going to be revolving around recreations of iconic moments in the saga.
I'm okay with that.
So it should be pretty cool. And it seems like when it comes to other streaming and animation options, once again, Studio Ghibli and Crunchyroll have a partnership with HBO, I think.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
So there's lots of good stuff on there
mm-hmm.
for anime and DC animation.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, we've been seeing in the news that Netflix is getting on the train for their own self-produced anime series.
Yeah. Lately, Netflix has been putting out a lot of different shows.
Because we've heard a couple of those being announced. One being within the King Kong Skull Island storyline.
Yeah. Yep.
And one for Tomb Raider, based off the video game. So
big. Me and Dustin both really we both are big Tomb Raider fans. So
yeah, we'll get to the video game.
Oh episode. Yeah, we'll definitely have a video game episode.
So those are some cool animation that we look forward to, and you can look forward to also introducing yourself to as well.
Yeah, for sure. So that's been our episode today. We're very glad that you guys joined us yet again for episode 3 to listen in.
Yeah, so let us know any of your favorite animated movies or TV. You can go online and let us know which one's your favorite, and maybe even which era of animation was your favorite as well.
Yeah, for sure. And while you're at it, don't forget to follow us on all our socials, our Instagram, our Twitter. Remember to subscribe to us on YouTube for more weekly content and more podcasts. Yes. So thanks again for listening, and have a great rest of your day.
Okay, see you next week.